Interesting facts about the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire is one of the most well-known empires in world history. But don't worry if you don't know much about it. Today we are presenting and familiarizing you with interesting facts about the Roman Empire. As the cliché goes, Rome was not built in a day. Neither did the ancient world's greatest power fall in a single swift cataclysm, as some historians believed. This thousand-year-plus history is complex and fascinating, and here are just 10 facts to help shed light on it. Number 1. The beginning of Rome. The ancient Roman civilization began in the 8th century on the Italian peninsula. It was founded in 753 BC by its first king, Romulus, and grew into a wealthy and powerful city over the next few centuries. By AD 117 the Roman Empire included the whole of Italy, all the lands around the Mediterranean and much of Europe, including England, Wales and parts of Scotland. Number 2. Gladiator Sweat was sold at the Colosseum. Having difficulty attracting women? What about infidelity in the bedroom? Don't be concerned. There is a solution. Gladiator Sweat. That's correct. In ancient Rome, the gleaming grime from the rippling pecs of ruthless warriors was a prime aphrodisiac. They were Rome's rock stars, the Mick Jaggers of the ancient world. After a ruthless battle with their opponent, a strigil, a long, curved piece of metal, similar to a blunt sickle, squeegeed the gladiator's sweat, which was then bottled and sold to fans in the audience. If it wasn't used as an aphrodisiac, it was supposedly used for medicinal purposes, such as treating epilepsy. These people were still imbibing perspiration, regardless of the effects. Number 3. Emperor Caligula wanted his horse to be consul. The Roman Empire had its fair share of insane emperors, including the infamous Caligula. He was known as one of the most mentally unstable rulers in the ancient Roman world. According to legend, the emperor murdered his own family members and executed anyone who dared to oppose him. He was also known to openly converse with the moon. But he is perhaps best known for appointing his favorite horse, Untitled, as consul. Whether or not this actually happened is debatable, as it was reportedly written about a decade after his death. The rumor was that he appointed his horse as consul because he felt an animal could do a better job than the Senate. Number 4. Romans thought Christians were cannibals. During Emperor Tiberius' reign, Christianity flourished. Scholars believe that the teachings of Jesus of Nazareth, who died by crucifixion between 30 and 33 AD, helped spread Christianity. Being a Christian during the reign of the Roman Empire meant risking death. Christians worshipped a single god, whereas Rome was a polytheistic society. Christians were persecuted primarily because their beliefs rejected Roman gods, including their emperor. Emperors thought they were incarnate gods. As a result, Christians refused to perform the necessary sacrifices. The Roman Empire did something heinous to demonize practitioners and the Christian faith as a whole. To prevent the empire from adopting Christianity or pitying its adherents, Roman leaders actively defamed Christians by spreading rumors, one of which claimed Christians were cannibals. Number 5. Nero was the worst emperor in ancient Roman history. Nero was one of the worst emperors in Roman history when it came to the Great Fire of Rome. Emperor Caligula may have been strange and insane, but Nero? He was a different kind of bad leader. For one thing, he wasn't afraid of corruption or murder. He allegedly murdered not only his first wife, but also his second wife, stepbrother, and most emphatically his mother, Agrippina the Younger. However, Nero was not always the villain. His first 5 years as emperor were extremely successful, and he was regarded as a generous and benevolent ruler until economic insecurity arose and riots erupted. But his popularity plummeted when he decided to spend his time building expensive infrastructure in the city rather than dealing with the strife sweeping the Roman Empire citizens. Number 6. Bathrooms were a public thing. Rome was famous for many architectural feats, one of which was their sewer systems. Although the ancient Roman civilization devised an ingenious method for keeping their cities clean, it was far from perfect. First and foremost, there was no privacy on the Golden Throne. It was a public space with benches with open portholes where citizens could do their business. While doing so, they had thoughtful conversations with their neighbors. Though public toilets assisted in keeping cities clean of waste, the personal cleaning process was not as sanitary. They had to share a sponge and no, it wasn't sanitized. Number 7. Roman women had more freedom and privileges than most women in the ancient world. Although many ancient women did not have the same freedoms as modern women, Roman women had significantly more rights, status, and freedom than their ancient world counterparts. Unlike Athenian women, Roman women could own and sell property despite being legally bound to a male-dominated household. Greek women, on the other hand, were permitted to own but not sell property. In comparison, Athenian women were expected to remain hidden and were frequently confined to their homes. Although Roman women had the freedom to come and go as they pleased, they were still subject to some restrictions. Number 8. They had one of the most efficient military forces in the world. You've probably heard of the Roman Phalanx, a massive military formation capable of cutting down an enemy and bringing them to their knees. Soldiers marching shoulder to shoulder would be several ranks deep. As with many Roman traditions, it was adapted from the Mesopotamians, a civilization that once existed in modern-day Turkey. The Greeks were the first to perfect the phalanx. The Romans became masters of military strategy after conquering their fifth of the modern world. Soldiers in the military carried a short sword known as a gladius as their primary weapon. They also carried a pilum, a javelin-like weapon, a shield, a helmet, and provisions. They were taught to kill expertly and fight in precise formation. Number 9. There were originally 10 months on the Roman calendar. If you look at a current calendar, you'll notice that many of the month names have Latin roots. These roots conjure up the Roman numeral system. September, October, November, and December are all numbered months. September is the 7th month of the year, October the 8th, November the 9th, and December the 10th. But that can't be right. It is 2 months late. Julius Caesar and his grand-nephew Augustus are to blame for the extra 2 months. Both emperors were a little self-absorbed. Both added months to the year to support their sense of grandeur. July for Julius and August for Augustus. Number 10. Emperors poisoned themselves every day. There's a case to be made that we regularly consume poison. Did you know that when apple seeds are consumed, they contain trace amounts of hydrogen cyanide? When the seeds are chewed and digested, they release a plant compound that can be lethal in large doses. Don't worry, you won't be foaming at the mouth when you bite into your next Macintosh or Granny Smith. But can you imagine knowingly ingesting poison? Mithridates the Great, king of Pontus, did just that. He would consume poisonous cocktails dubbed Mithridatium in the belief that they would boost his immunity against future conspirators. If you think that's bananas, think again. They also thought the antidote could be extracted from one-horned horses and donkeys found in India. There are out 10 interesting facts about the Roman Empire. Let us know what you think and make sure to subscribe for future videos and updates.